for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Strap in. This will be a good one. 2 one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 10th-year quarterback. This is his first season in his 30s. 30-year-old out of Georgia. It's Matthew Stafford.
One thing you ask for from your quarterback, improvement each and every season. You also ask for consistency. Matthew Stafford, 7 straight years over 4,000 yards passing. He's still looking for that initial playoff victory during his tenure, but I think that he's been leading them towards it and has a chance to get it in the upcoming future.
Now movement already, so a flag down here on our very first play. They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Blunt. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a carry for Blunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop. And we look now at the Lions offense.
One way I really judge a player's value is when opponents know what your strengths are, yet they still can't take that away. That tells me you're a heck of a player. For Theo Riddick, everyone knows about his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, yet he's still the primary target for Matthew Stafford on just about any passing situation.
3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 right at the 30. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Glover Quinn there on the stop. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down. Rodgers now on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kerry Hyder able to get in there and drop him behind the line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
The result of 1st down is a quick slant gets him 14. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Crosby on now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The left side completion to Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Let's go, come on. Let's go, come on.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. The left side throw complete to Adams. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 8 catches, 113 yards.
And how about the first month that he's had? Leads the league in receiving, making all the big catches, and becoming a bona fide #1 guy for his team.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Crosby on now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script.
Oh, he lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, but I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Finds Roberts left side. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Sua Cravens in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll run it here with Blunt. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Detroit defense, we get set to watch them go. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game, where they've just given up points, gotten pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now. Can they end it? Let's find out.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Adams. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Graham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And some room to maneuver. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On first down, Rodgers. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Kerry Hyder in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. To throw is Rodgers. To throw on second down. And that'll be incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Get 300. Get 300. Zoom.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still
but all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sean Robinson able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now Rodgers looking to throw on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Adams. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Rodgers now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, the 20, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead, not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point good by Prater, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now Jones. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. The Titans trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan with 3 touchdown passes there. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And as you see, they are currently all tied with the visiting Denver Broncos. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first. That worked okay, but in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Rodgers throwing on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Zoom.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Adams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw on 2nd down, Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now blown. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, here's Blunt. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. They had a first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup. And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
26. 319.
Rodgers now on 1st and 10. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Devon Kennard coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side, able to get a hand in. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Packers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Zoom, zoom. 319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
But we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the 1st down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. So out now come the Lions. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Come on, boys, here we go. Hey, we got set. Lady.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Going for the deep ball, and that's caught inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety.
Let's go, come on.
So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, Help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that's the way to start a drive, and that's the way to continue a drive. Back-to-back, nice chunk plays. And if you're the offensive coordinator in your chess match with the defensive guy, you're thinking maybe you put him in a spot where he's got to load up against the run, because that last one was a really nice play. What are you going to do now? Do you go ahead and play into it, continue to run the ball, play action, try and hit him over the top? You've got to feel like you have the advantage.
On second down, Montgomery. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Rodgers with a keeper. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge, their D-line surge leading to 4th. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And the move from Mike McCarthy is going to be to keep the offense on the field here on 4th down. They're going for it. On the sneak, Rodgers. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side, able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a 1st down.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Back now at Ford Field. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. To throw is Rodgers. To throw on 2nd down. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now 21-7. Crosby on now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 6 there on first. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Set. Go 20.
To throw on second down is Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number 1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On first down, Stafford to the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. On first down, it's Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And Blunt has it. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Again, it's Stafford. Left side completion to Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Lions on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Stafford looks to throw again. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here's the battering ram Blunt. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
It's 4th and 2, and you know the defense is going to stack the line of scrimmage, so you have to be definite about your decision about where to go.
His pass caught at the 4. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a second down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
And we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Oh, he stays up, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Set, lady.
And they'll go on the ground. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Set, yellow 20.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Here's Rodgers. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. From the gun, it's Rodgers. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Now it's Tate. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. So here come the Lions now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And the pressure gets to him again. Clay Matthews in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. Hurry up, hurry up.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Green Bay, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year.